Good morning, walkers enthusiasts. Welcome to the channel. We are going to be walking around Kingston and going for a river walk this morning. This is, I'm just going to show you the little notice here. It tells us all about it. The Coronation Stone. Why is it here? It is because, according to tradition, this stone was used during the ceremony of coronation by 7 Saxon kings of England. So Kingston's been around for a really long time, and reputedly 7 Anglo-Saxon kings were, I was going to say, coronated here. Anyway, we are outside of Kingston Guildhall, and this isn't all a Kingston walk. You're going to see some of Kingston. That's the market square just ahead over there. It's a Sunday morning, still in winter. January is just leaving us. February is fast approaching. So I thought a nice Sunday morning walk around a little bit of Kingston and along Kingston Riverside towards Teddington. See my Teddington walk, if you want to see the Teddington part of the river. That is the Rose Theatre. All came as part of this big riverside regeneration that happened, 2 decades ago now, I reckon, something like that. It's pretty early, it's not quite 11 yet. Just show you the Guildhall. And we are crossing possibly the oldest bridge, one of the oldest bridges in England, the Clattern Bridge. It crosses the Hogsmill River, one of the oldest bridges in Surrey. Earliest known reference in a deed of 1293, and the medieval name Clattern Bridge, probably based on horses' hooves clattering across the bridge. So that would take us straight into the marketplace, but we're going to go down here instead. Little hook through. So here's all the flats by the river, apartment buildings. As I said, this is the Hogsmill. And the Thames is just ahead of us over there, but I'm just going to wander you through the marketplace, see if we can film in Bentall Centre, and then down to the river from there. So there's the Hogsmill going under the Clattern Bridge. I think it was around 1195, I think it's supposed to have been built, 1175. And we're going to cut through here. People are out having their morning coffees. Yes, it's 1 minute to 11, which means the shops are just opening. A lot of them open, I think Bentall's opens at 10:30 in the morning on a Sunday. So here's Mimosa, which is quite nice actually. Had quite a few coffees in there. Hello, sweetheart. Can't see any prices in the window, and I can't remember what I pay for a coffee. But just so you know, it's a taste of Portugal. Good morning. Be lots of chances for food price checks, because we're going to be going through the marketplace. Looks like we've got a Patisserie Valerie that's just holding on. So I know they've shut loads of them. And here we are entering the marketplace of Kingston. There is Eden Street, there's shops along there. We were just over there. And that was Griffin Arcade. If you want to see a full walk through Kingston, check out one of my other videos. So we got somebody setting up now as a busker. Hope that's going to be okay. Just going to show you, so Charter Quay is where all the buildings are. I've got something to show you here. So here we have stories of the ancient marketplace. There we are, telling us that possibly 7 Saxon kings were crowned here. The salmon in Kingston's coat of arms refer to 3 Thames fisheries, recorded in the Normans' Domesday Book of 1087. And so here we have the entire history of Kingston and the marketplace. Sheep were traded here until 1925, when the cattle market moved to Fairfield. So let's go back to the marketplace. It's a bit quiet at the moment, other than the busker. As I said, it's quite early on a Sunday. The Riverside's filling up with walkers, people enjoying it. Here's the food stalls. Got just about everything here. Although husband has asked me to bring back pasties. I must admit, pasties have been in short supply. Don't know if we'll get a pasty. So £6 for a cheesy dog, £5 for a vegan dog, burrito pulled pork £6, chicken £6, pita with salad and garlic sauce £5, tortilla wrap with salad and fries inside £6, and there you go. So that's sort of all the food stalls. This building here, which is now Anthropologie, this actually is one of the oldest buildings in Kingston, number 15 and number 16 Market Square. Now that's not the original facade. I think Boots the chemist, put this facade on here, maybe in the 19th century. And if you look, I don't know if you can see the sign, near this spot were crowned the following: Edward, Athelstan, Edmund, Edred, Edward and Ethelred. So those chaps that we saw on the Coronation Stone at the Guildhall. So this is a historic marketplace, been here since around 1170. This is actually, in front of us, is the 19th century market house. Used to be the town hall, actually. This was built in 1840, as you can maybe pick up, in an Italianate style. So the town hall activities were moved over to the Guildhall eventually, and at the moment it's usually a shop in there, but it doesn't look like it is right now. I'm going to show you around the front in a sec. The gilded statue of Queen Anne. So we've got birds, we've got eggs, and we've got fish for sale there. It smells here of Lush Cosmetics. If anybody knows Lush Cosmetics, you will know what I'm talking about. Kingston Juice Bar, smoothies and bowls. So fresh juice, £3.50, £5 or £6, depending on your size. Green machine, raw chocolate. So this is a marketplace that's been here for over 800 years. They even used to have stocks here for when people were, you know, naughty. The first actual market recorded in 1242. Now let me just show you the statue of Queen Anne standing on the balcony of the town hall. Some breads here. So you've got bread here, £4 a quarter for rye sourdough, spelt. And here we've got Queen Anne, often mistaken for Queen Victoria, but it represents Kingston's most prosperous period in history and is the work of sculptor Francis Bird, who was around in the 17th century. There you go. Ah, I see. The old town hall is now a testing site for COVID. The times that we live in, huh? Now, we are going to head back to here. Greg's. Still love a Greg's vegan sausage roll. Sorry, I just do. We're going to head this way towards Bentall's. Kingston has had endless royal charters. King John granted the first charter in 1208, allowing a market to be operated. But it was Charles I who granted the most influential charter in 1628, when he gave Kingston the unique right to a monopoly over markets within a 7-mile radius of the town. Can you believe that? 7 miles? That must have been quite a distance in those days. Those pigeons are busy up there. As we leave the marketplace, I should say, it's actually not a square, it's actually a triangle, Kingston Marketplace. Not sure why. If you find odd sound combinations at any point during this video, it's because it's full of buskers this morning. So you might find me having to switch it around a little bit. Alright, just to show you where we are. So in a sec, we are going to head over there. There's John Lewis, and we're going to head down to the river. But first, I'm going to see if I can take you through the Bentall Centre. This is the main, I think of this as the main shopping street down through Kingston. Others might disagree, and as I said, do check my other videos showing a fuller walk through the shops. And we're going to go through here into the Bentall Centre, which I remember when it was a department store. So here we are, Bentall Centre. Frank Bentall founded the store back in 1867. No, 1867. Frank Bentall set it up. It was a drapery store selling fabrics and sewing materials. And then he went on, he actually opened more in the south of England, so he was pretty successful, Frank Bentall. By 1930, Leonard Bentall was the owner, and he turned this into a vast new department store. Now, what I remember, because I don't remember 1930, I'm not that old, is in the 1990s, early 1990s, it all got redone and the Bentall Centre was born. It was a massive redevelopment. Okay, so we're leaving the Bentall Centre now, and sorry, the security guards said we had to stop filming, and they were adorable, by the way, so thank you, lovely security guards. Very nice to meet you. It's a shame, but what can you do? I did write saying, is it okay to film? Nobody responded. Thought it was okay. Apparently it's not okay. Never mind, we try, don't we? Now this is the church. We're going to cross over to John Lewis, and there's an interesting tale about the development of John Lewis. So this is John Lewis, Kingston, but we're not going to go through, we're going to go round. Past All Saints Church, which is a Grade 1 listed building, because it's very, very old. So we're going to cross over to TK Maxx. Here we go. Okay, so if we point in that direction, we would go back to the marketplace. But we're going to go over here. And this was a spot of major redevelopment, as I said, in the 1990s. And herein lies a story of an ancient bridge, a medieval bridge. So just of here you can see, I don't know if you can tell, this is actually Kingston Bridge ahead of us. Now, Kingston Bridge used to be one of the only river crossings. So until Putney Bridge opened in 1729, Kingston Bridge was the only crossing of the river between London Bridge and Thames Bridge. Oh yeah. Supposedly existed during Anglo-Saxon times, and it is believed the first Kingston Bridge may have been constructed in the 1190s. Now, where's the subterfuge to do with John Lewis, I can hear you asking? Well, it's because when they were digging up and redoing the dual carriageways through the centre, they actually found the remains of an old medieval bridge and an undercroft. So let's just get you a shot along the river here. People messing about on boats as usual. So, Kingston Bridge. Designed by Edward Lapidge, opened in 1828. And if you look at my Richmond walk, I think you can tell it's pretty similar to Richmond Bridge actually. The Riverside's getting quite busy this morning, so people are coming out to eat, walk, generally enjoy a Sunday morning. And we are going to head over here. So here we go, under the bridge. Name our bottomless brunch, unlimited Prosecco. £30 per person. I assume you get some food with that as well, with your beers or Proseccos that are unlimited. Here we go, under the bridge to the back of John Lewis. We are now on the east side of the river, and the Hampton Wick side, which I'm going to show you in a sec, is the west side of the river. Here we are. Lots of development over there, as you can see, at Hampton Wick. And as I said, lots of people messing about in boats. Birdies, duckies, and things like that. So if we look over there, we're looking at where the old Kingston Bridge ended, just over there. And actually the river, I think, was a bit wider then. And John Lewis, which is here on the, so that's the west side over there. John Lewis, which has got fencing around it attractively at the moment. The east side would have been the eastern point of the old bridge. And as I said, when they were redeveloping here in the 1990s, the remains of the ancient medieval bridge and undercroft were found and moved. So apparently it's quite common. I think Whitefriars in London, not far from Fleet Street, see my Fleet Street walk, they had to do the same, safely moving these items. So there you are, there was a medieval bridge right here. And now we're walking along Kingston Riverside to the north. As I said, we are on the east side of the river here. And I'm probably going to be showing you the west side of the river because that's got the sun on it. Because it's winter, still got quite a low sun position in the sky, so it's not so sunny on the east side. You were looking at Kingston Railway Bridge in the distance. Originally a cast iron bridge designed by J.E. Errington in 1863. Replaced with the bridge we see today and opened in 1907. So Turk's Pier. There's been all sorts of bits and pieces going on around here over the years. Cocktail bars, boat clubs, car parks, places to eat, you name it. So we're sort of at the back end of John Lewis, and that's straight through to the shopping centre there. And as I said, lots of redevelopment of flats and things like that. I think I went to some kind of party in this place when it was a cocktail bar. So here's your Riverside apartments. Lots of joggers out, lots of cyclists, doggy walkers, all that. Seem to have some boat storage here. Oh yes, Sea Cadets, of course. That would be theirs then. And then over there, as I said, the west side of the river around Hampton Wick and headed towards Teddington. That's sort of direction we're going in. Nice little van here that sells bits and pieces, drinks and what have you. There's a coffee shop further on along. I don't think it's open January to April. Underneath the railway bridge. You don't have like loads and loads of trains per hour going over this. Plenty, but not loads and loads. Not quite like when we're filming at Waterloo area. There's always trains going over that bridge. There was massive protest along here years ago when they took down a lot of the trees. And we are entering Canbury Gardens. Really popular riverside spot for walking. And I actually came along here with a friend of mine a few months ago. And I said, gotta film this. It's really nice. Haven't done a temperature check for you. I'm guessing, take a guess, it's around 6-7 degrees, maybe 8. Thick frost overnight. The shed roof looked like it had snow or something. Don't know about these buildings, don't know a history or an architect or anything. It's got a bit of history about Canbury Gardens, if you're interested. So in feudal times, parishioners used this area to graze animals and cut turf and timber for fuel. Come the 19th century, and I think you probably, if you've watched my videos, you may remember that this was a huge coaching area. Horses and coaches and stage coaches and all that sort of thing. Anyway, by the 19th century they wanted to put some roads down. Let's go along the river. And so they needed materials, and the old grazing land was replaced by a series of pits for gravel extraction. And it made a right mess of the place. It's practically a rubbish dump, actually. And so in 1884, Samuel Gray, a local maltster and lighterman who founded the Canbury Ratepayers Association, suggested there should be a garden here, a nice public garden, so that the view from the river shall be a pleasant one, and not, as at present, unsightly and obnoxious. So that's what this view used to be, unsightly and obnoxious. So the borough surveyor drew up plans. The gardens were raised, as you can see here, above the towpath. Plane trees were planted, as you can see. And the park was opened in 1890. A bandstand was erected in 1891, donated by a former mayor of Kingston. I've seen a friend of mine playing in his band around here. Became one of the most popular spots to Canbury Gardens. Weekly concerts, beautiful planting displays, all that sort of thing. Sunday concerts actually still go on here as well in the summer. And there you go. From a mess and a gravel pit Two beautiful gardens. Let's do a quick river view. Those gardens that fascinate me so much, that you have a place to put your boat at the bottom of it. Have spent a lot of time here, wandering about over the years. A lot of building work, it's all gone up. Oops, trip over a bump in the path. I think the swans think we're so close to the bank that we're going to feed them. No, sorry swans. Let's pop up this side for a while. Ah, the coffee shop is open. I'm told reliably by my friend that the coffee shop has some nice stuff, hot chocolate and what have you, over there. So maybe we'll pop there on the way back. Here's the bandstand. As I said, originally donated by a former mayor of Kingston. Of course, there's some kind of aircraft overhead. Is it a helicopter this time as usual? No, it's a light, very small aircraft. Tennis courts over there. Ooh, I think we're coming up to Boater's Pub. I do like Boater's Pub. Stop for another river view, and I see ducks and swans getting their bread. Right, let's walk along here. I'll have a quick peek at Boater's. Then we'll continue onwards. There it is, yeah, the Boater's Inn. It's very close to Kingston Town Centre. So from the Bentall Centre to here, this is actually 20 minutes. Not particularly a fast walk. So there you go, a little pub wander if you want one. They've got indoors and outdoors seating here. So here we are at Boaters. I don't actually want to go in. Let's just see if we've got any information. Okay, so no prices outside. Let's go down to the river. Can't see any prices for you to price check at Boaters. They'll have an online site, you'll be fine. Right, let's go down here. Right, on the river again. That you can see right in the middle of the river, that is Stephen's Eyot, or Eyot. So there's about 30 tiny little islands dotted along the Thames. This one is teeny tiny. Considered to be on the Middlesex side, actually. Let me just show you a front view of Boaters. So here's Boaters. Then we've got a boating club here.
That's it.
And as I said, we're looking at Stephen's Eyot or Eyot. River traffic is directed, as you can see from the little sign saying channel, directed to the Middlesex side because of posts and moorings on this, the Surrey side, the east side. I see lots of people keeping fit this morning, making me feel lazy just walking along here. Assume they're going to be all getting those out soon. So 1875, there is a mention in the Ordnance Survey map of this Eyot comprising 4 islets or islets, little islands. And there is a map from 1896, and that little island there is marked as Thames Island. It is now Stephen's Eyot, after the family name of a boatman who lived in a cottage that stood on what is now Canbury Gardens. And by 1913, Stephen's Eyot was on the Ordnance Survey map. These active people are going to be exhausted watching all this activity. We're reaching the end of Canbury Gardens here. So, as I said, getting popular now. Deep in the throes of a sunny Sunday morning at the end of January. This building's always fascinated me in front of us. I always think it looks really cool. Don't know what goes on in there. Swans are busy with their evolutions. Freedom Miles, interiors that deliver. Okay. So I wouldn't mind working in an office building that looked like that. Now we're passing the end of Stephen's Eyot, and I can see another Sea Cadets place over there. People really doing their yachting this morning. It's barely a breeze at all. Don't know if that's complicated if you're yachting. Not a yachtist. Is there a word? So you can see we've got kind of road here rather than path. And then we rejoin the path a little bit further along here. It seems to get an awful lot of traffic through. There we go. People yachting. What those two are doing to each other. There you are, sun's just starting to go behind the clouds, getting a bit milky now. If you want to, you can walk all the way along to Richmond from here. Said you've got Teddington, you've got Twickenham. If you walk along here, see my Teddington walk, you can see Ham House, Petersham. You can walk up to Richmond Park. All sorts of options from here. If you walk in the other direction at Kingston, it takes you along to Hampton Court, which is our usual stretch actually. We usually walk that stretch. The beep. You hear that a lot around here. Sea Scout group.
Oh, but I thought they are going to increase the national insurance.
Got some houses. These were developed quite a few decades ago now. This little development. I always thought it looked like idyllic river life along here. Came for a romantic walk one evening in the summer, got completely attacked by midges. Stuck in my hair, everything. Idyllic riverside living. I see a plane in the distance coming into land at Heathrow. Riverside houses. Nice views. If you get really extreme weather conditions. I think 2014 we had the very extreme flooding and it probably would have come up here. Canoeing. And then we got some little sort of houseboat type things over there I can see. Here comes some more. And we're going to cut onto the path in a sec. So if you want to cycle along here, obviously you can. Got a friend who likes to cycle through here. We're coming towards Ham, actually.
Yeah, you might want to look.
We are going to go, so it says the National Cycle Network there. We're going to go down onto the towpath. Half Mile Tree. I was looking for Half Mile Tree. Where is Half Mile Tree? There it is, it's behind me. Right, river view. So Half Mile Tree, so a bend in the river, this section of the towpath marks the entry to Kingston from the rural towpath that runs from Ham Lands to Teddington Lock and on to Richmond. It forms part of the Thames Path National Trail, which follows the river for 184 miles. So the Half Mile Tree, which I'm going to show you, is an elm tree, a local landmark on this spot for centuries, denoting the approximate distance to Kingston. It became rather hollow and so had to be replaced by the new Half Mile Tree, which is in front of us. Let me just show you.
So you have to just go in and say
Half Mile Tree. On this site stood the elm, known locally as the Half Mile Tree, probably 500 years old. Removed in 1951 due to its dangerous condition and replaced in 1952. So here we are standing under the replacement Half Mile Tree, placed at the old approximate half mile point from Kingston. There you are, historic. Now let's go down here. Go over some bumpy grass. Watch me trip. He didn't. So we go a little further along here. Show you a little bit longer of people messing about on a Sunday morning on the River Thames between Kingston and Teddington. I see another plane coming into land in the distance. I wonder how much those places go for. Not quite, you know, the biggies with the great big lands or anything, but you can still park your boat up the front.
What did you say it again? I didn't understand. And what today, Susie?
Now, I think I mentioned earlier there are around 30 little islands dotted along the Thames, and it's an interesting thing. If you remember from the sort of Ham and Teddington walk, Eel Pie Island, you might remember from that one that kind of attracted the Rolling Stones and that kind of crowd. I suppose you might have called it the Bohemian set. And apparently the sort of islands along the Thames have the reputation of attracting creative types like Eel Pie Island, actually, which is an artist community now. And I was reading an article in the FT, Financial Times, from 2019. And apparently all the little islands we see, you could divide them up by their accessibility. Can you get onto them, basically? On my Thames Ditton walk, the island that I showed you there is actually private. You can't get onto it. There's a little gate and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But some are accessible by car, some by footbridge, like the one I showed you in Thames Ditton, or some only by boat. So I just always try to imagine what it's like moving house. And you have to take a boat to move house. Fascinating thought.
Okay? You want a snack?
Hope you're enjoying the walk. A slice of life on a Sunday morning alongside the river. Must admit, it's been pretty cloudy, dour weather of late. Been cloudy and cold, worst type of winter weather. Oh, actually no, cold rain. It's probably the worst type of winter weather. Just teasing you. And I know you Canadian types on the channel, I know some of you have been dealing with masses of snow, whereas here it's just been distinctly cloudy and cold. Oh, swimmers, yay, well done. Wish I was that brave. Really do. You brave souls. Well done, you.
It's cold, but keep the eels away.
Almost 100% inflammation. And so many diseases that start with inflammation.
Yep. Talking about the anti-inflammatory effects of cold water swimming. It's funny how we call it wild swimming these days. You know, just used to swim in the sea, now it's wild swimming. River swimming though, that's a different level. View up the river. Quite a few of them swimming. Oh, and I see a doggy getting his stick, of course. Now, I don't know if you can see, I'm going to try and sort of peer you through. Got a bit blocked with the view now. That's Teddington Lock over there. So just through the trees, I'm going to see if I can get a little spot for you. See the view of Teddington Lock. As I said, we're in Ham now, and we're not far from Ham House and all those sorts of things. So what I'm going to do, just see if we can go down this little bit here. So I'm going to finish off the walk fairly soon, but there's one little bit I want to tell you about first. Try not to slide into the river. So, as I said, can't see it very well, but through there is Teddington Lock. And then we actually are going to head back up the river now to Kingston. And as we're doing that, as we finish up the walk, I'm just going to give you one little piece of information. When I was telling you about those 30 islands on the Thames, I forgot to mention that kind of just over there is Trowlock Island, which comes from the word trow, a type of barge. And that's over there, and I think there's about 35 houses over there or something like that on Trow Island. Wonder if they're creative types, just like the FT article said that they are. Who knows? Anyway, as we look towards the wild swimmers, talking about the benefits of swimming in the river every day, I am going to sign off. I really hope you enjoyed this sort of trot around Kingston and the Riverside on a Sunday morning in the winter. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.